What's up guys, macadii here. Now today I'm bringing you guys the week 3 team builder for the GBA D-League Season 2, where we are up against the Miami Dolfhinneons, coached by Hardy. Now, his team is very interesting. It has a lot of really great wall breakers, but I must admit, this is going to sound really weird. I am aware that he is currently 8th in the power rankings, but that actually makes this battle even scarier for me. Like, I'm more worried about this battle. I got this battle in an hour and a half, and I'm more worried about this one than I am against the one I had against George. Which sounds really stupid, but if I lose this one, then it's going to be very sort of humiliating. On top of that as well, he also is quite unpredictable, so he's going to be bringing some weird stuff, and trying to prep for weird stuff, well, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't really work. I've heard talk of like banded Butterfree. To be honest, that's never going to work, but like special Medicham and stuff like that, if it does catch you off guard, it can cause potential problems. But to be honest, I think with the team that we've got, we should be okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick run through his draft. He's got Weavile, Mega Medicham, Rotom Wash, Butterfree, Porygon 2, Sylveon, Archeops, Nidoking, Dragonite, Hitmontop, and Raichu. So actually, outside of maybe the Butterfree pick, I think it's actually not too bad a draft. He's got a huge number of wall breakers in the forms of Archeops, Weavile, Mega Medicham, and also the Nidoking, and then obviously Dragonite for setup as well. So those are all really powerful offensive threats that you've really got to watch out for. He's got a set of really defensive ones as well, in the form of Rotom Wash, Porygon, and also the Sylveon, which also couples as a very bulky offensive threat as well. So his draft is something that you shouldn't really sleep on. But on top of this, his main weakness here is that he's got a lot of things that are weak to rocks, and not many ways to get rid of it, namely the Hitmontop, which Ollie just completely sits there and walls. And obviously Foresight can be a thing, but he's still going to get burnt, and I can whittle that down. He has no form of recovery on it as well, so outside of maybe leftovers. But once it burns on it, time is ticking. I can just keep trying to set up rocks and put that pressure on, really. So, the main thing that I really had to address was trying to find ways to take out his wall breakers, but then also be able to take out his walls as well, which was a really tricky call. I actually made a team that I'd spent a while working on, actually got it genned last night, and then had a few test battles with Ollie, and it really didn't work how I wanted it to work. I had a lot of defensive threats to try and wall the combination of Weavile, Mega Medicham, Archeops, and Nidoking and Dragonite, and that's not the way we're going to be doing this. That's not the way you can beat this guy, because with the amount of sort of offensive and coverage options as well, like especially Mega Medicham, because my thought was, oh, you know, Gramble walls that, but no, it doesn't. It gets Poison Jab on there as well. Slowbro doesn't wall it because can get Thunder Punch, and that's 2-hit KO. So it's really problematic. That thing is such a problem. So what I decided to do is turn it on its head. We've inverted it, and actually we're going to be going on the offense, because if you have a look at it, we have got, first of all, we've got Cash Flash the extra. We're actually running Mold Breaker Scarf on this, because if you look at his team, Oko's Weavile does a really good amount to Medicham, Oko's defensive Rotom, and it can also hit because of the Mold Breaker as well, because that negates Levitate. Butterfree, a Rock Slide will be definitely taking that out. P2 is a bit of a problem, but we got ways around that later on. Sylveon, we can do about 75% to about 90% with a Iron Head on max physically defensive, max HP invested as well, so that should be fine. Archeops, we should outspeed, and Iron Head's going to kill that. Nidoking Earthquake kills that. Dragonite, after we've broken the scale, then we should be able to take that out as well. Hitmontop obviously is an issue, but we have switch-ins, and we have so many different ways we can sort that out. And then finally Raichu as well, which we also outspeed and can kill. So this thing is actually going to put in a lot of work and puts a lot of offensive pressure on his team. I did consider running Sands. That was my initial team, but the problem I had with that was that the Rotom was just such a big problem. Huge problem. I just couldn't break it. And I don't really have that many ways to reliably take it out. And with the way the team then had to work out, because I had to bring the Hippo, the team just didn't work. I needed a 7th member that just, and I couldn't lose anything else. Next up, we have Ollie, though. And Ollie is going to be very, very important for this because he handles Mega Medicham. Obviously, he can take high jump kicks and do a lot of damage to Mega Medicham, causing it to miss. But on top of that as well, it has no access to knockoff or anything like that. Its only real move that it can do is Zen Headbutt, which does 33 to 40%. So I can burn that thing. I can even switch in and then burn it. So this thing is going to be really, really good. Like, my wall call is designed to be able to check his offensive threats, but the rest of them are then designed to be able to take them out. So I think it's going to be okay, because Ollie can handle Mega Medicham. It can handle Archeops to an extent, so I have to watch out for knockoff, but I don't know if he's going to be bringing that, to be honest. I think there's a few other things he might be bringing instead. It can also handle the Dragonite really, really easy. Like, a +1 Dragon Claw from a Dragonite does 30% maximum. That's just absolutely insane. And then, obviously, the Hitmontop. This is a great spin blocker. So I'm going to really, really try and stop him from getting rid of those rocks as well. Now, one thing I did identify on my previous team that was a problem was the fact that I had no way to switch into Sylveon. If he went for a Hyper Voice, obviously Cash Flash could handle that, but only if it's defensive. If it was max special attack, modest with specs, which could be completely possible, because on the surface my draft cannot handle that, at least switching for free, and it's a really good way to force out my Anubis each time. Cash Flash took 50% from that, which was just not ideal at all, especially when it could then just switch out, and it would cause so many issues, unbelievable amounts of issues. But what we have here is Bieber, and we have the soundproof. That means that on most variants of Sylveon, we can come in and we can we're immune to its hits. So say, for example, it's Calm Mind, Wish, Protect, Hyper Voice, which it could very well be. We wall that set completely. Absolutely fine. And we can just sit there and it can set up all at once, but there's nothing it can do. So that's the plan with that. Also, Boom Burst, Oko's Weavile, Oko's Mega Medicham, Oko's Rotom Rush, Oko's Butterfree, 2-hit KO's Porygon 2 so it can't switch in, Oko's Archeops, 2-hit KO's defensive Sylveon, Oko's Nidoking, Oko's Dragonite after Rocks, Oko's Hitmontop, Oko's Raichu. It does a lot, is what I'm trying to say. So this thing, especially when I can get free switches in on that Sylveon, this thing is going to be really deadly. Really, really deadly. Boom Burst is literally what I'm going to be clicking on this. And then in terms of the other coverage moves, they're a little bit weird. I know I'm specs, but my way of thinking is that the Toxic is designed to say in the last situation, I've got a few mons left, and I've lost my really good ways to sort of take out the P2, and it's Spadef P2, say, and it's causing me a lot of problems, and it's the last thing alive, and it's just sitting there being really fat and walling. I can go in there, I can Toxic, and then take a hit, and then switch out later on, and come back in and start Boom Bursting and putting more pressure on. And that means that Rotom's then got the Porygon has then got a timer on it. The next move is Ice Beam, which I thought was a fair coverage move, just to make sure say the Nidoking or the Dragonite's in and I want to sort of save on PP, I'm not too sure. I'm probably not going to be using Ice Beam. I really just need Boom Burst on this. And then finally, we're going back to the Screech method again, because obviously Baton Pass Sylveon is a problem. So what I can do here is I can actually, if I think it's going to be Calm Mind Baton Pass, I can come in and I can Screech, and I can just keep screeching until he wants to Baton Pass. And then something that gets Baton Passed into, X-Wing can mop up, and Cash Flash can just kill. So that's the plan with that. I may have to then obviously sack something to be able to do that, but that means I've got a really good way to be able to take that out. So for example, if he passes the Calm Minds into P2, which would be completely possible, I can then kill with Cash Flash later on, or even X-Wing or something like that. So that's the plan with that. Next up, we've got X-Wing. Now, X-Wing is my other massive offensive threat with Choice Band and Inner Focus, with Brave Bird, Cross Poison, U-Turn, and Sleep Talk. Now, the Sleep Talk's for the Butterfree. So let's play this scenario out. He's out with Butterfree. He's at full HP. I come in with Crobat. He Sleep Talks. He Sleep Powders me and makes me fall asleep. I can Sleep Talk. I can go for Brave Bird. While he tries to set up, that's a dead Butterfree. The other way we can play this is I'm going to be leading with Crobat. So if he leads with the Butterfree, goes to the Sleep Powder, as I Brave Bird, I brought him down to his Sash, he makes me fall asleep. I can go out into Cash Flash now. Now, Cash Flash can take Psychics and also Bug Buzzers, but then it also, if the Butterfree decides to set up, I can one-shot with Iron Head from, with 1 HP left. So, I'm not going to get humiliated by Butterfree, is the plan with that. Also, the fact that he really loves Fake Out on Medicham. And if he leads with it to try and get his Mega off early and be greedy and try and Fake Out my X-Wing, which has happened to people before. I know I have seen a couple of battles. I think one battle at least in the UCL where that has happened. So I'm not trying to underestimate him and say that he's really dumb or anything like that, but it can catch people off guard. Same with the mold break on Rotom. Sorry, on Cash Flash. I forgot on Excadrill, because people go, oh, you know, just switching Rotom, it's fine, and then it just gets OHKO'd, even defensive after rocks. So what we needed was a rocker, and the only real options I've got is Mirage or Hippowdon to set up rocks. And Hippowdon really doesn't do a huge amount. Weavile 2 KOs it, Mega Medicham 2 KOs it, Archeops it can handle, and Dragonite it can handle, but Nidoking it can't handle as well. So it's just, and it can't handle Sylveon, P2, P2 Rotom Wash. It's just really weak against its draft. It's just really, it's almost not worth bringing. So even just for rocks options. So Mirage works a lot better. This is very much a sort of utility set. So what we've got is a max HP, max speed. So this is for longevity. We've got Focus Sash to guarantee that we get Stealth Rocks up. On top of that, we've also got Taunt. This Taunt is going to be designed to, if the Sylveon starts to set up, or he comes in on P2 or something like that, we can Taunt that. Knockoff is for the P2 as well. If we can just get a cheeky knockoff, that's going to be really good. And then finally U-turn for just, in case, say he predicts a Psychic. So say he's in on Nidoking, and he switches out into Weavile on a really offensive play. I can just U-turn on that, and that's absolutely fine. So I'm not my main role with this is to set up rocks, but the other moves are more utility to try and see if I can get some good, sort of more utility hits off and get some momentum with U-turn as well. And then finally we've got Anubis, which is my Umbreon with Synchronized. Now this is a very special set, because what we've got Foul Play, Wish, Protect, Heal Bell. We need Heal Bell in case it's Toxic P2 and it's just being a bit of a douchebag, really. And what we've got 248 HP, and then this set here is designed that even if the Weavile has what's it called, Brick Break and its Life Orb, I can still take Brick Breaks from that absolutely fine. I think the maximum it does is like 42% if I've calced it right. Maybe a little bit more, maybe it's just under a 2-hit KO, but it's enough where I can handle it and I can Wish Protect. And remember, it's got Life Orb, it's also got to handle rock switchings as well. So it's not really going to be sort of particularly comfortable. If he doesn't have it and tries to set up, Foul Play does a really decent chunk to that, and even has the chance to kill after rocks. So even after he sets up, if he's already switched on rocks, he's only got one hit after from that. So, and Nubis should be able to take that, because he won't have enough coverage moves to then run Brick Break as well. So that's the plan with that. We can also kind of handle Nidoking as well. We can take superpowers. Focus Blast is a problem, but what we're just going to have to do is rely a little bit on playing around this. So for example, we'll play some more sort of theory games. So what we've got is we're in with Anubis. He brings in the Nidoking. Now, to be able to actually 2-hit KO me, he's going to have to go for Focus Blast or Superpower. Ollie can take those if I want to. If I want to play the safe route, or if I know he's going to be going for that Focus Blast again, I can go into X-Wing and I can take that, and then I can force him out, because a Brave Bird kills from full. So that should be fine. It's almost impossible to try and handle a Nidoking. You've just got to sort of force it into a situation where it has to make a certain move, and then you just have a switch in for that. Mirage is also kind of a switch in as well, and takes a lot of the coverage moves as well. It's also immune to Earth Power, so that's really nice. So I can play around that, especially with Cash Flash being there. They can both take a Flamethrower reasonably well, and then and also Focus Blast, and also immune to Earth Power. So he's gonna have to do a little bit of fancy predicted to be able to do that, and I could also even just stay in and be really manly. So that's the plan there. We've got a way to handle Dragonite as well. That's absolutely fine. Hit him on top, we can just burn and just whittle it down. Raichu, Nasty Plot Raichu will be okay, because we do have Cash Flash. On top of that, Mirage outspeeds and X-Wing outspeeds as well. If he's Scarfed, we can play around that as well. That's not going to be too bad, because I don't think there's too much you can do to Cash Flash outside of maybe Focus Blast. But we just need to be careful and just play around that. But the thing is as well, is if I then decide to stay in with Crobat and Focus Blast, you guys get the idea. He's got to make a lot of very clever plays to be able to outpace this team. So that's the plan. Hopefully this all goes to plan, because what actually happened, I'll give you guys a bit of a backstory, because we've got a few minutes. What happened was, as I said, I genned the team, made it last night, and at about 10 o'clock I tested it, realised it just really didn't work, And so I stayed up from there until about 2 a.m. with Ollie sort of giving me a little bit of guidance there, just to like, sort of bounce ideas off of what to do. So I then stayed up to 2 a.m. and then I had to get up at 5:45 to go to work then. It's just, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm ready for the battle. I'm hyped. I think we got a fairly good game plan, especially, like, I always worry because I'm like, oh, he's got all these wall breakers, but then I have so many things that can one-shot most of his team. Like, Crobat's a massive problem, Bieber's a massive problem, Cash Flash is a massive problem. So we should be fine. So I hope you guys enjoy the team and you are hyped. This is much better than that original team. I don't know why. I went down completely the wrong route with that one. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the team and I will see you guys at the battle. Macadii out.